Welcome back, Saturday Rub. Richard Marsland Studios here in South Melbourne, and I'll tell you what the Saturday Rub has, and that is a wide and powerful audience. Not only, of course, the Wolfpack and, right around Australia and the world, in fact.
What
people
do you mean, not only?
Well, I'm saying, not only here in Australia.
Yeah.
You've got Shane Kelly in Dublin. You've got Denmark. You've got all the way across into China. You've got the United States, Hong Kong. People listen everywhere and absolutely love it. But we have nice segue, Spud. We've got very powerful media people who attach themselves to this brand. I speak of Eric Banner. I speak of Rob Sitch. Sitchy is as rusted on a Rub fan as you'll come across.
He's a member of the pack, and his wife Jane wants to get a tattoo of Wolfpack.
Of course she does. But I don't think...
Wife of Wolfpack, member 38.
I don't think any of the people we've just mentioned are as passionate as Will Anderson, who's been good enough to join us, of course, comedic genius and all of that, but a very rusted-on dog as well. Hello, Will.
Mate, thank you very much for having me. I have done a lot of... I've been doing comedy for 20 years this week, and I've done a lot of things I've been really proud of, but I've never enjoyed myself more than walking in here today. This show has kept me company around the world over years, and to be in here, to be part of it, okay, let's get entertaining, because I don't want the glass eye coming out.
I wish you
bring it out.
Told us this earlier, we would have got in, because there's our promo, Jim, for the next season.
Perfect, absolutely perfect. And you do podcast, Will, because you've spent a lot of time now in the States. You've had the last couple of years in LA, but also then you do the Edinburgh festivals and all around the world. So it's your touch point back into Melbourne culture.
It really has been, and I've listened to it in some pretty unusual places. I remember I was in Alaska where it was like a light for 23 hours a day, and so I couldn't sleep at all. And I reckon I binge listened to an entire season of the Rub, but it was like from 3 years ago, because I was up to date on all the regular ones. So I was like, I'm going to go back and see how accurate they were through a whole season.
Oh no, don't do that.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a great adventure.
How would Spud go in Alaska? Been awake for 23 hours a day, do you reckon?
I got to be honest with you, Spud. I think that they're your people.
Are they? Why?
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like you might even be from Alaska.
Is this a term of endearment?
Yeah, I think it is.
You think it is?
And Will, you've got a particular fascination with Spud, haven't you?
Yeah.
It intrigues you in a way that very few people, or
Mate,
even no one, ever has.
Well, you know what it is? It's like, sometimes you just can't describe genius. Sometimes you can look at things and you understand, why they're
I can't
funny.
even spell it.
Right. Yeah, but Spud just brings it consistently, and I'm not sure if you know why you're bringing it.
No, I don't.
But you are bringing it. I mean,
No, it just comes out now and again. I'm not sure what I say half the time, but it's Warrior that sort of upsets me a little bit. It puts me off my axis a bit, and JB and him, the sort of little bit of a, they got into me today.
Mate, don't take it personally, mate. Like, this is a media environment, and your brand has never been stronger. I mean, ever since the Plugger interview, mate. Yeah. I mean, you look at the hard questions, you look at Lee Sales with the Prime Minister the other night, but when you ask Plugger about the weather, I think the nation stopped, right?
You can, that is... unbelievable, because as Gary said, you've got to get the best out of the talent, and the rainfall in Barrel has been unbelievable the last 40 years, and he's got cattle, so I knew I just didn't have to put any bait on the hook then, and just reeled the big fella in.
100%.
Well, Will, the reason I know that you're absolutely spot on is, as you were saying that, I was trying to remember where it was, but I reckon it was an airport lounge somewhere a couple of years ago where you came up to me and we had a good chat about your love of the Rub, and you said, I don't want you to take this personally, because I think you and Purple and Gaz, I think you do a great job, but none of you are anywhere near as entertaining as Spud.
Right. Mate,
so this is not a new thing.
You are the Forrest Gump of football.
Well, look,
and we love it.
Look at the wobble on you.
No, I haven't got a wobble. It just sort of indicates why I've just been walking on air the last 6 months, and as I said, I'm overcome, really. I'm lost for words for the first time, Will.
What about when you're around the world, and if you're with any of your, I don't know whether any of your colleagues are listening while you've got the radio, it's on an app, I suppose you're listening by, and then a guy has introduced the most respected journalist in football as the Purple Warrior.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Look, there's some origin stories that are hard to explain. when you have to go back and you have to kind of go, look, there's a few steps in this one. I might have to draw you a graph.
Particularly when your mum asks you about 3 years ago why.
That's it.
We just said we'll move on.
What that actually means. So can you explain it to, because you've got great friends, of course, from Scotland and Ireland and all the places where the comedy flows. Do any of them get AFL footy for a start, and then your love of this particular style of piss taking?
Well, this is, I mean, I think this, what you guys do on the radio generally, and now I'm in your area because I'm about to piss in your pockets massively, but what you guys do is, it sums up Australia to me. It's what I miss about Australia, which is just a bunch of blokes bullying each other to death. I mean, it's just a bunch of mates getting in a room and saying the most horrible, soul-destroying, heartless, right to the bottom of what hurts you things that would make an ordinary person sob in the car park for 2 hours after every show, and then we'll be back next week to do it again.
And Jim, that is true.
The funny thing about it, Will,
100%
you get here at 11:30, 11:45, and when someone walks in, there's a lot of banter, and
Right.
everyone goes quiet.
Yeah.
You think,
Yeah,
okay,
oh,
I'm
yeah,
going to
me
get
today.
thrown on the
Targets
bus
on me.
I sense that today somehow.
Along
But
those
anyway.
lines, Will, I'm going to show you a video of earlier today when Spud was on the end of some constructive feedback from both
Yep.
Jim
And he needed it.
and from Warrior, and this was his initial response. Now, just describe what you're seeing.
Now, what
here.
I'm seeing is I'm seeing purple on the floor. Okay, now Spud's trying to pull up an expensive microphone. Oh, no, he's using it as leverage to get his foot on Purple's chest. I mean, this is fine debating. That is how Oscar Wilde would have done it,
Who
mate.
won that
Just-
debate, you reckon?
And it's not your traditional radio either, is it?
I mean, you know, that's not really theatre of the mind, Spud. Most people probably think you guys are just saying that you're doing that, but that is actual evidence.
What I'd love is for you to grab to the Gruen. I know it's been called the project, the transfer.
Planet.
It's just Gruen now, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think
it's
so.
Gruen, mate. Yeah.
I'd love you to have Spud on as a guest and have him go head to head with some of the real sort of top-notch
That's
smart people going around. How would he go?
But as you know, Will, if I get
Yeah.
lost for words and they trump me with some big words,
Yeah.
I resort to physicality. So
I'd like to
unless
see it.
Unless you
I feel-
allow that on,
I feel
probably
like
can't
it's.
come on.
To be honest, I feel like it's what our show needs. Like, mate, occasionally Todd Sampson needs a punch in the face.
Who else? Who else can I?
Don't redesign his brain, redesign his face. I say.
Russell Howcroft goes with that real trendy stuff, so I'll just look at him and belt him. Right in the nose. I think that'd be fantastic.
Hey, Will, you are a passionate dog, and you're a part of
Oh,
the setup tonight. They're doing the walk from, is it Fed Square to the
Yeah,
G?
we're doing the March to the G from Fed Square, trying to make the MCG our home ground today, seeing that we didn't get to play at Etihad. But I noticed there's a little bit of rain around, so I assume because it is our home game, they'll shut the roof of the G. And no, we're looking forward to it. We're trying to make a bit of a deal about it. Obviously, we're one of the less supported clubs, but we've had such a huge season, and the boys have just been so amazing that we're trying to get a bit of a vibe going and make it really feel like it is a home crowd down there. For
I
the
think you've
Dogs.
got to get a bit more up.
Who's your favourite?
I think you peaked too early, mate. There's still a 6
Um,
hours away.
Mate, don't you worry about me. I am so excited. Like,
really?
Yeah. Mate, well, at the start of the season, like this time last year, we
Yes.
didn't have a coach. We didn't have a CEO. We didn't. Our captain,
Lost your captain.
our highest paid player, is playing for another club, right? Our
Your
second
Brownlow
highest
medalist
paid player is in the
walked out.
twos. Our Brownlow medalist is gone. Sean Higgins is gone. No coach, no CEO, no Brownlow medalist. No worries. Here's finals, boys. We're
Will,
excited.
That
what
is
about
unbelievable.
Jared Grant and Gaz Christie microphone head? So we actually had him in.
Yeah, he loves
Eddie
it too,
had,
doesn't he?
and Gaz said, "Do you like being called microphone head?" And Jared goes, "What are you talking about?"
Well, that didn't go down well,
No.
to be perfectly honest. But we, the Western, by the way, Footscray Bulldogs are playing in the VFL
Yeah,
final
yes.
at the moment against the Bombers, and that's not going as well. They're 46 points down, but you must pinch yourself. And who, when you go along tonight, is it Stringer that gets you going? Is it Dalhouse?
Bont.
or-
Bontempelli, yeah. I
Bont-
mean, like, I remember going, the boys came and saw my show during the Comedy Festival in April, and it was the weekend they played Richmond, so I went along to the game, that weekend, and Bontempelli was just amazing. You know, when you just see someone, you're like, oh, this guy's a jet, and he plays for us, you know? And then you've got, Stringer, the package, like, but there's a bunch of guys who are just having the best seasons that they're playing out of their brains, so it's just really exciting.
Yeah, it is fantastic.
And I'd like to say that I would like to think that I was the one who predicted this, but I'm going to LA next weekend for gigs because 6 months ago when somebody asked me, are you doing anything the second week of the AFL finals? I went, no, I'll have that weekend free.
Well,
So-
the fairy tale pushed all its way through to the last, well, it's not September, the first weekend of October.
Yeah.
would you be back?
Oh yeah, I'm back. I mean, I'm back only away that weekend. I'm back for the pre-level.
Oh, right, okay.
So, you know, hopefully it'll be in Sydney. We'll play Sydney, then I won't have to fly down.
What about
then down
Bevo?
for the grand final, right?
What about Bevo? He's done a great job.
Oh, amazing, right?
Yeah,
he is like when, I mean, the only downside to Bevo doing such a great job is that Das picked him. Yeah. And you know that if he wins us the premiership, you're never going to hear anything of that again, right?
That is absolutely true. Hey, tell us what you're doing professionally. You're doing lots of gigs around the world. The TV's still going strong?
Yeah, Gruen's back. We were back on Wednesday night. It was our first night back. You know, like you guys, don't like to talk about ratings, but #1 show on television.
That's it.
And,
And
You're airborne?
That is a bloody good effort.
yeah, worldwide, global, trendy.
That's exactly right.
Untouchable.
Sadly,
It's never been stronger.
You actually are, Will. That's the only difference. We sort of say we are. You actually are. All right, beautiful. And then you do all the festivals. You still do that? Because that must be a tough thing for you professionally to have to get around to them all and create new shows. There's plenty in that.
Yeah, I've been touring for the last 2 years, and it's like the best. Like, you know, when you do something you love, and you guys know what it's like, when you get to do it, you should always remember that it is a really fantastic way to earn your living, and it gives you all the opportunities to do stuff like this with your life. I mean, I grew up on a farm, like on a road that's named after my grandfather, and my dad's lived on that road for 73 years, and my brother is a farmer on that road, you know? So every day I'm not getting up at 4 to milk a cow, I'm happy.
And you have journalism too. So you gave up journalism too.
Yeah, farming and journalism.
Didn't like journalism?
Yeah, who knew? And I wanted to be the guy with the foot on the journalist, not the journalist underneath.
Well, you went to school with Howie.
Yeah, Howie and I, best mates at high school. So yeah,
same build.
Didn't get in the gym too often.
There you go. It took 10 minutes, but we got there.
You've been in JB's and Warriors gym, Will.
Will, can you stick around? We want you to be a part of the quiz next.
And he wants to know the AFL
of course he does.
Triple M All-Star team, which
can't
they announced
wait,
very shortly.